Alright, what is up YouTube? So today I'm going to be talking about my ban list predictions for April of 2019. I feel like this format is very good. Besides a few cards, there's a few cards that are really toxic and just unhealthy for today's metagame. But besides those few cards, I feel like this format is really good. And even if we don't get any big changes to the list, I'll be pretty happy with this next format that we're going to go into. So the first three cards I want to talk about is Danger, Nessie, Jackalope, and Snack. These cards are used in so many different combo decks. They're used as extenders. They're used to go in the Rusty, SARYUJA. They're used to make Curious. They're used to make all these different lake monsters that are really good. And you have stuff like Phoenix. You can discard it and then pop a card. Oh, get this back on my field. Now I can go into, Unicorn. Unicorn effect, discard another danger, use the effect of, Unicorn to spin that back. Oh, I get this now, I get another search with like Nessie, or I can summon with, Jackalope, or I can summon with like Snack. Like the danger monsters are just way too OP. They're dark monsters, so you can go into Rusty, all these other stuff. And, dangers are just not healthy for the game. I think they should all be put to one and at some point banned when we do eventually get the last few support of danger cards. So the danger monsters obviously really busted and should be dealt with on this ban list, if not the next ban list for sure. The next card I want to talk about in this video is Phantom Skyblaster. Really good. You see GUARDRAGON is banned, Scapegoat is at 1, Gofu is banned. Skyblaster is very similar because it summons tokens and it's just really good in link format. Make SARYUJA Skull Dread, make Phoenix, Unicorn, any of the broken Nightmare cards. Skyblaster should not be in the game. It's just a really good token producing card. And overall, with the Danger Thunder Dragon deck, you don't really need your normal summon. So Skyblaster is just really strong in that deck. So Skyblaster should be outright banned. It's going to be Saki at 1. Just like GUARDRAGON, we figured out how to, deck thin and, get to GUARDRAGON with like SARYUJA and the danger monsters and, lore and the beginning of the end. So Phantom Skyblaster definitely should be hit. So the next card I want to talk about is the Rank Up Magic launch. Now this card is just really broken. You summon Azathot, you summon Kali-Yuga, you get a pop with Rusty. This card is just unhealthy for the game. It's just like the Rongo Bongo combo. So Rank Up Magic spell should just definitely not be in the game. It's unhealthy, it's searchable, and it's just really warping the format. And it's just one of the most unhealthy cards we have in this format. And there's not really any really unhealthy cards in this game. And these are just like, this is the one card that's just super unhealthy for the game. It just promotes degeneracy, and it just shouldn't be in the game. So for the next deck I want to talk about in this video is the Sky Striker deck. Now we just got an announcement for Engage to get a reprint, so I don't think they're gonna hit Engage, but I do think they're going to hit Multi-Roll. Multi-Roll is one of the most important Sky Striker cards in the deck, and it's the one that will least likely kill the deck and the least likely to not make them sell these cards, because they need to sell Engage and Battles of Legend. If you think of it in a business perspective, they're not going to hit Engage. They're not going to kill like Kagari or Widow Anchor. Most likely they're going to hit Multi-Roll, because even though they might have one Multi-Roll, they can search it, they can bring it back with Kagari and stuff like that. So I feel like Multi-Roll is the safe option, is the business option. They do want to hit this deck because it's been in the game for such a long time. It's been here for almost a year, and it's been meta ever since it came out. So Multi-Roll is probably the most likely to get hit. They could hit Widow Anchor to 2, but I don't think they're going to make, small hits like that to this deck or any deck in this format. So it's either they hit home or they just don't hit the deck at all, like they did last format. They just didn't hit Sky Strikers at all. And the next card, the last card from the main deck that should be hit, is Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is so broken. I feel like this card should have been hit or banned a long time ago. I know they hit this card to 2 and then it went back to 3 for some odd reason, but this card is just really good going first, obviously, for playing around hand traps, and then going second, it's just really good. You banish like a Martin, GG to Luna Lights, you hit Ray, GG to Sky Strikers, you hit anything in the graveyard that's like really impactful, and you just like auto win against those matchups. And I feel like Called by the Grave just promotes this degenerate aspect. If you draw this card and they have the hand trap, or if you draw this card against, Ray, Jack Jaguar, or, Martin, any important card in the graveyard that's just really, really good, and you just stop it and you just GG no re. Because, Called by the Grave is just really strong. It's not just your turn, but it's the next turn as well. So Called by the Grave, it's just way too OP. It banishes, it stops the effect. It's just way too broken. I don't think Called by the Grave should have been at 3 at all. It should be, outright banned. And I feel like Konami's probably not going to do it because they went back from, 2 back to 3. But I feel like overall this is more my opinion, and rather than, Konami's opinion, because obviously we know what they think, and they think this card should be at 3, but it's just way too OP, way too broken. And you don't have to agree with me, but I feel like this card is just way too broken in today's format. So for the extra deck cards I want to talk about is Thunder Dragon Colossus. I feel like it's been its time. It's just way too OP. It's one of the best boss monsters in today's meta, and Colossus is just really good. So putting it to 1 is most likely going to be the route to go to, because Colossus, putting it at 2, it doesn't really matter. People already just run 2 anyways, because you can't really run 3 because, space, obviously. And having 2 is really good for making I forgot, the Zombie Stein or whatever it's called, the number card. It's really, really good. So Colossus definitely, if any Thunder Dragons hits are going to happen, it's going to be Colossus, I feel like. Or Thunder Dragon Dark, obviously. But I think Colossus is more understandable than, Thunder Dragon Dark, because you just kill the whole archetype. So Colossus, the one, is definitely a possibility. Another card is number 95, Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon. This card was banned in the OCG for a reason. I think the biggest thing that makes this card ban worthy is because of the guard dragons and being able to send as a cost. I don't know why Konami thought that sending cards, dragon cards as a cost, is just okay in today's format. Even like 2014 standards, this card is just really, really broken, and got the, all of the elemental dragons, the dragon ruler, is banned because this card is just way too OP. And I think it's just like at its peak of where it's just going to be broken either now or later. It's just going to be even more ridiculous, because we're just going to get so many more dragon support. We're just forever going to get so much good dragon support like we have been for the past, like, since Yu-Gi-Oh has been a thing. So Dark Matter Dragon, just way too OP. I don't think this card should be in the game. The next card I want to talk about is Guard Dragon ELPY. I don't think they're going to hit ELPY, because this card is just way too new. It came out in Savage Strike, obviously, but I think this card is just a good honorable mention, just to say that, ELPY will probably get hit out of all of the Guard Dragon cards, because ELPY is just way too OP. Summoning a card from the deck is just way too broken in today's metagame. You see with like Summon Sork, you see with like Needle Fiber, you see with Electromite being able to, get something from the deck and putting it to your extra deck, back into your hand and stuff like that. Just getting cards from your deck is just way too important in today's metagame, and just way too broken to where like ELPY at some point will be hit. But not this format. I don't think this card is going to be hit this format, but I think it's just an honorable mention, just to mention that this card is just really, really good. The next card I want to talk about in this video is Knightmare Mermaid. Now, this card is going to be seeing a lot of play in the future with Dane coming out and the Orcus deck just being so much powerful in the next set. Mermaid is just way too overpowered. I don't know why they didn't hit Knightmare Mermaid before, when like Gokis were really good, Spirals were doing relatively decent, they were extra linking, and Knightmare Mermaid being able to summon a card from the deck, as I said before, is just way too OP in today's metagame, and just shouldn't be a thing at all. So Knightmare Mermaid is just really, really OP. I don't think this card should be in the game. Just like a lot of the Nightmares, like, Nightmare Goblin, obviously really broken, Griffin, really good. Like, all of the Nightmares are just really, really good, but I think Mermaid and Goblin are just too overboard. They're just way too broken for this game. And I think Mermaid should definitely be banned now, just because of Orchestrated Nightmare and its potential. So for the next card I want to talk about is SARYUJA Skull Dread. A lot of people said that I was stupid. They was like, no, sorry, the Scope Dread is fine. This card is, you know, it's okay. No one's really playing it. But then we see like Crusadia Guard Dragons, you know, Danger decks. They're all making like 2, 3 Skull Dreads and just drawing their whole deck or drawing to their combo pieces, summoning card out onto the board and just, you know, do crazy stuff like that. So Skull Dread definitely should be hit to 1. I don't think it's gonna be ban worthy. I think 1 is pretty fine, but overall, so Skull Dread is just really, really OP. And in today's format, having like 3 arrows, being able to draw 4 and fix your hand overall, and be able to summon a monster from your hand is just way too much in today's format. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm done rambling because I rambled on for way too long. I feel like I got my thoughts out, and a lot of these, you know, picks that I picked on this prediction were in my previous one. So if you want a really in-depth analysis on why I think these cards should be hit, or some of these cards that should be hit, you just watch that video, because a lot of the other, you know, picks are on that list as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm done. My head is hurting. I'm out. Peace.